NBA fans, NASCAR fans, every college football fan has a problem with Paul Feinbaum. And, of course, the local media, what he's done out there. But anyway, we're going to get an opportunity to see him play tonight. Kansas, maybe one of the great, this forgotten teams. It's a basketball school, ranked 22nd in America tonight. I almost said Missouri. I almost did, even though Missouri's been in the SEC now for, 8, 9, 10 years? I remember Gary Pinkel coming in. They won like the first couple of divisional titles back when it was the East and the West. So we have that going on tonight. Of course, Missouri, as we do know, is in the Southeastern Conference. And, of course, NC State is playing tonight. So we do have a couple of ranked teams. There we go. Utah was the one that snuck by me. Many believe the Utes are going to win the Big 12. Actually, yes, Utah is going to win the Big 12. Sometimes the brain gets a little bit congested. I had to think, was it Oregon? No. Oh, Oregon's in the Big 10. Matter of fact, some people believe Oregon could play Ohio State not once, not twice, but 3 times this year in college football. We know they're going to do it in the regular season. They could do it in the Big 10 championship game. Heck, they could end up doing it as well when it's all said and done, playing in a college football playoff. The loser of this game Saturday is going to be under fire, right? Billy Napier, 11-14. Mario Cristobal, 12-13. Both get ready for year number 3. The talent for Miami is better. It's better on paper. You have better skill position players, all right? And for what it's worth, Florida's got some really good ball players. They got 6 or 7 wide receivers they love. Trey Wilson is as good as anyone you'll find, in all of college football. I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. I've read an awful lot about Shamir Dyke. The kid came over from Wisconsin, formerly a favorite target of Graham Mertz when they were back at Whiskey. And all of a sudden he's been added to this offensive arsenal, if you will. And one thing that these two schools have in common as well is problems within their secondary. A year ago, the Gators just got torched. Just about every team that faced them found ways to put up points against the University of Florida's defense. Miami was really good last year. Despite a 7-5 record, they only gave up 22 points a game. You should win more than you lose when you're only allowing 22, but they are, for the most part, replacing their entire secondary. So I think this is an opportunity for whoever runs the football the best to win it. But I also look for big play capabilities coming from both sides and mistake football. Whoever makes the biggest mistake and allows an opportunity. You go back and watch that Florida State-Georgia Tech game. We picked on Omar Graham. One of the biggest misses of the game was a wide open. It was either a tight end or it was a small. I don't remember what it was, but Graham totally missed in coverage, and it was a missed pass and reception by Georgia Tech, but that would have gone the entire distance for a touchdown. Then the other side, you saw the two that DJ Uiagalelei made, right? He missed Ja'Kai Douglas, and a ball where Douglas was wide open. He just underthrew him. Right? He threw another one to Malik Benson that actually went out of bounds. Benson had coverage beat. He got by him. I think that we're going to see this coming up on Saturday as well. Both teams are going to try to hit home runs at times. And you see blown coverage real early in college football seasons. You see it more than you do in the NFL for obvious reasons. But you always see it really early in the year. And yeah, I don't think this is going to be a pound it back and forth, one possession ball game. I think there's going to be some breakdowns in this game, right? I would expect it to be a little bit sloppy early on. Then again, go back to last Saturday in Dublin. Florida State had 1 penalty and no turnovers. If I said to anyone in the world, Florida State will have 1 penalty DJ Uiagalelei and the football team will not turn over the ball. Were you going to pick against them? Well, guess what? Georgia Tech had one fumble. They recovered it, right? Very selfish play by DJ Lundy. Tried to scoop and score. Tried to be the hero. All you got to do is fall on it. And, very next play, you had the pass rush, best pass rush of the game. Sensational play by Tech. They drove it down and ended up scoring a couple of plays after. But it was a selfish defensive play. And they teach that every day, just like they teach it at Florida every day. And they teach it at Miami every day. Ball, you fall on it. DJ Lundy, selfish, tried to make a play. That was the only fumble, and it was recovered by Tech. I think it was all said and done. Georgia Tech had 3 penalties. So is this what we're going to get? Florida and Miami, this type of rivalry, even though they don't play year in and year out? Are we going to have 3 or 4 total penalties? Are we going to have no turnovers in this game? I tend to believe, it's going to go the exact opposite. I think you'll have a couple of personal fouls. I think you'll have some false starts. I think you'll have a great deal of holding, both on your offensive line and in your secondary. I think it's going to be a game where there are a lot of penalties. We're probably not going to get as many overall this year because of the new clock change, right? The new clock rules are in. And I asked the Philly Godfather about it yesterday. It wasn't a good question by me because we don't have a sample size. But we're going to start to see games go by faster, right? Isn't that what you want, America? Isn't that what you want, Duval? I mean, you wait 9 months. Don't you want these games to be over in like 2.5 hours, right? I mean, Generation Z does. I have it on record. I have a couple of sources who told me a couple of weeks ago when the Jaguars put together that 17-play drive that went over 8 minutes, most kids that age got up during the drive and did something. They went out, had a soda, whatever it was that they did. But you can't expect those kids to sit around for a double play, a double-digit play drive. Come on, what's wrong with you? Be like Oklahoma. Let's go 4 plays, 80 yards, take 1 minute and 21 seconds off the clock. What's this 17-play drive? Taking nearly, 8-9 minutes off. Actually, I think it was a 10-minute and 21-second drive, if I look back at it in the, second preseason game of the year for the Jaguars against the Buccaneers. We're going to get faster football games with these new clock rules. It's going to shorten the game, and you're going to have less opportunity for offensive possessions. Therefore, I think penalties will be down as a whole. I also think scoring is going to be down as a whole. Headset communication. Welcome to the new era of college football, right? The communication now, green dot, your quarterback and someone on defense. New clock rules. Today, the SEC finally announces what we have been believing for quite some time. The new injury rule is going to be a part of college football. It's going to come out every Wednesday during the week, and you're going to have to list guys and let the general public know what is going on as far as injuries. And Greg Sankey comes right out, and he doesn't even bat an eye. He says there's so much gambling, legal gambling, that is going on now. And it's not only college football. It's volleyball. It's women's college basketball. It's men's college basketball. It's going to be in baseball, and I believe in softball. Okay, but Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, comes right out and admits it. People are legally betting on these games. We have to provide all of the information. Remember forever the NFL tried to hide? Well, the injury report isn't because of gambling. The injury report is things can be leaked. We don't need some teams getting accurate injury information and other teams not getting it, right? So let's put it out there so it's the same for all 32 teams. You can even go back to before there were 32 teams. It was a bald-faced lie. Injury reports have only been around for one reason and one reason only: gambling. Insane. Absolutely. I mean, who would have thunk it? think of Miami. I think of, a Howard Schnellenberger, right? What would he think if you could somehow bring him back and say, do you understand now that there's legal gambling in college football? Okay. And that you can get information injury-wise to help the bets that you are, in fact, going to make. I mean, it makes very, very, very little sense traditionally in this great sport. But, I mean, it's where we are. As a non-bettor, I'm fine with it. I still love I still love it. I live for it. To me, it's awesome. I just don't have that itch yet. One of these days I will. Imagine grabbing Charlie Pell. Seriously, imagine just waking up Charlie and telling Charlie Pell that there's an injury report for the game Saturday between Miami and Fort. And he'd say, well, of course there's an injury report. We know who's injured, and we get information on who's injured. No, Charlie. This is a legal injury report. And it's out there simply because people are gambling on the game. And if they're going to gamble their hard-earned money, they deserve to know who is healthy and who is not healthy. Tonight's comments opening the program are brought to you by Shmunez Vision. They are a family organization. Their focus is on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. I've known Dr. Catherine Shmunez for a number of years as well. Fellowship trained in cornea, cataract surgery, all refractive surgery. Combined, that's more than 30 years experience when it comes to laser eye surgery. It's starting to get darker a little bit sooner now at night. You may have noticed that. And certainly when the clock does change this fall, it's going to get dark even earlier. All right. Your eyes are different in the day than they are at night. There's no question about it. Just make an appointment with Shmunez Vision. They're your one stop with everything that is your eyes and eye care. And again, that includes surgical eye care and medical eye care. You can check it all out. Just go online, go to Shmunez Vision. Also on Instagram, you can get all the testimonials at Shmunez Vision as well. All right, when we come back, let's bring in JJ LaSelva. Let's talk about the big game coming up on Saturday. We're also going to be guested by our good buddy Tim Brando for the first time this year. Got a big matchup tomorrow night. Wisconsin and Western Michigan. Yeah, 9 o'clock on FS1. Timmy doing some Friday night games. Had one last week. He's got one tomorrow night as well. So it's changing things a little bit around as far as our weekly visit. It's not going to be as long tonight as it normally is. And, we're going to have to make some adjustments here on the fly. We're going to make Georgia Tech adjustments here. JJ, we're not going to make Florida State adjustments, right? We're going to make Tech adjustments. We're going to make it work with Tim Brando throughout the course of the year.
I've always said you're the Brent Key of radio.
We're going to run it 24 times for 33 yards in the second half. And not only are we going to run it, we're going to tell Georgia Tech we're going to run it. We're just going to line up and run it. Hey, Coach, 39 from Tech's 31. 39 from Georgia Tech's 21. Let's run a draw with Roydell Williams. Let's just do it. Let's just tell them we're going to do it, and let's do it.
I was shocked by that.
Who the hell runs a freaking draw on a 39? Okay? But that's what. So that was their adjustments. Tech lined up and ran downfield. They pulled up their linebackers. They pulled up their safeties. They knew they were going to run. We're going to make those same adjustments with our good buddy, Tim Brando. Pleasure to have you with us. He's JJ LaSelva. I am the truth teller, Rick Ballou.
Hi, this is Joe Theismann.
This is Sports Illustrated model Brooklyn Decker.
This is Donovan McNabb.
You're listening to 1010XL.
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 92.5 FM.
Jennifer, Luxury has a new address in Jacksonville.
Oh, do tell, John.
Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard. We've got over 40 Cadillac Lyrics in stock.
40? That's incredible. Any color you want?
You bet. Pick your color and drive away today. Plus, we're giving away a free home charger with every Lyric.
Fantastic. Anything else?
How about a car you'll never have to change the oil on?
No oil changes ever? Now that's luxury.
Randy Marion Cadillac, where Jacksonville meets luxury.
Visit us today on Southside Boulevard and tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal sportsbook app, and they're so stoked for the kickoff of the season. You know why? Because never before in September have you been able to legally bet on football. This year, for the first time ever, people in Florida can bet on ball. College kicks off this weekend with a big bunch of games, and all you have to do to get started is download the Hard Rock Bet app or go online at hardrock.bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com, WM.com, and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler. Go Team WM, and as always, Duval!
It's the end of summer sale with Renewal by Andersen, energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Save $300 on every window and $825 on all patio doors. Plus, zero down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. But restrictions apply, and this offer expires August 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
Weekends were made for sports, and I'll tell you my take on this weekend's best options. Pick it here. Watch for Weekend with Dan on YouTube and Facebook. Weekend with Dan is brought to you by Stone Core. We do outdoors better.
Life has its share of challenges, and when it puts you to the test, make sure you reach out to Rebound Rehabilitation to give you the quickest path back to full health and confidence. Rebound Rehab, specializing in helping patients overcome back pain and sciatica, arthritis, and fibromyalgia, just to name a few. Rebound Rehab, locations covering the entire First Coast, getting you back in control with a pain-free life. Sports injury, workplace injury, whatever it might be, you can rebound. Log on to reboundrehab.com for more info.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Beyonce's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, when a customer goes to buy a diamond, how do they know what they are getting?
Frank, that's a good question because what they know comes from the assurances given by the seller, and they can only judge based on the knowledge and reputation of the selling store. Now, over the last 25 years, I've seen some customers misled, and unfortunately, Underwoods was the bearer of bad news too many times. In the 1980s, we saw diamonds brought in with exaggerated grades and no laboratory grading reports. Then in the 90s, we saw some of the poorest cut diamonds ever, even though they had laboratory reports on weight, color, and clarity. Then the American Gem Society opened a laboratory and started grading diamonds for cut, and poorly cut diamonds got priced for what they were. Now we see diamonds from the internet and other places where diamonds are bought sight unseen with a lab report and a bogus appraisal. Unfortunately, not all those diamonds match the reports they're sold with, but how would a customer know? Probably today more than ever, the truest statement is, if you don't know diamonds, you better know a jeweler you can trust.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
What word is misspelled on the Liberty Bell? The answer next.
Does your homeowner's insurance company contact you before, during, or after a big storm? If not, then it's time for you to contact Southern Oak Insurance. Find us online at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The word Pennsylvania is misspelled on the Liberty Bell, which is unfortunate as this monument is featured in the Liberty Bell Center in Philadelphia.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
You're shriveling up.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by FIS is home all weekend at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. It's Coors Light Thirsty Thursday tonight and then Red Shirt Friday and fireworks tomorrow. The first 2,000 fans Saturday get a free strap bag with more fireworks presented by Darley's Plumbing. Then it's Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day with more fireworks on the weekend of Boom. DaxShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable family fun.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The tradition of Missouri, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and Texas, right? The ESPN, the SEC on ESPN. So this is their go-to.
Yeah, this is what they've replaced. I mean, we all know the CBS song.
Really, really bad.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because it's the first time I've heard it that I think it's terrible, or that it actually is terrible. I'm not sure. But it's nothing compared to the SEC on CBS.
SEC on CBS was just phenomenal.
And of course, really CBS kept it, as they should, for the Big Ten.
Right.
Like, how much would ESPN have to pay for the song?
Millions.
Oh, yeah. Tens of millions, maybe. But, I don't even know.
Yeah, it's just...
so generic.
There's very few that kill it. You know, I think Fox NFL has always dominated. That's just been so good for about 30 years, or ever since Fox came on the scene. I love ESPN in their hockey song.
The best.
I think it's about as good as you'll find. But CBS, college basketball and the SEC are maybe outside of the Masters on CBS. I mean, nothing is even remotely close to this.
This is the best.
I would probably rank them this, number one.
Now, is this CBS's, though? Because they play it when ESPN has the Masters on Thursday and Friday. So I would just say this is just the Masters. I wouldn't even give CBS credit for that.
Okay, but they've had it most years. Forever. But I think your point is, if all of a sudden we find out that NBC has the Masters,
they get the music.
Yeah, the rights is the Masters, not the broadcast company. All right, off the top of my head, I'm going to go this number one. I'm going to go with the original Monday Night Football with Howard Cosell, and his highlight package was one for the ages. So I'll put that in at 2. Boy, number 3. I'm going to go 3 and 4, almost like 3A, 3B. I think it's the combination of Fox, their NFL song, and the SEC on CBS.
You're missing a big one.
I know.
And it's
I'm going to get to it.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
I'm missing a big one, you say.
Yes. It's been gone for a little while, but it's coming back. That's
the NBA on NBC.
John Tesh.
Not bad.
I would say CBS college football is probably better than this one. But man, this one brings me back. ESPN's kind of suck with everything except hockey. Like the ESPN college football music, not the one we heard, but the one they've had.
It's terrible.
Dun, 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 dun.
Every time I see it, I want to throw something to. And you know what I hate about ESPN is when they show the graphics and then they have to put ESPN up and the helmets go, and half the time, like the running back is already at the line of scrimmage. You like put down the graphic, will you? We want to see the play. No, they gotta, promotion. I get
what do they call that? A highlight swoosh or swap or something?
Can you find the old Fox baseball? I missed that.
Oh, absolutely.
I thought that this was maybe the most underrated of them all. And, Fox, even with baseball now, they go to their football anthem. They took away the baseball one. If you're able to If you're able to dig, is it buffering?
Giving me 3 seconds, 2 seconds.
Oh,
1
yeah.
second.
YouTube's going to run commercials, too. Hey, we get it. Here we go.
Yeah, why'd they go away from this?
A year ago, the Chicago White Sox were 30-132. But tonight, Andrew Benintendi, who had the lowest WAR in the history of Major League Baseball, he is a 30-30-30-30 guy. 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases, 30 doubles, 30 intentional walks.
Tell me you saw the White Sox crowd this afternoon.
I did not.
It was like, I think right before first pitch, I retweeted it out, but there's like 17 people in the picture frame, and it's like the entire lower bowl of the stadium. It's pretty pathetic, pretty sad, but that's what happens when you've lost already like 100-plus games.
It's such a scary part of town.
I've heard.
It is the worst part of Chicago, far and away. I mean, Wrigleyville's in a nice, little neighborhood. The old Comiskey, and then they built U.S. Cellular right next door to it. There's nothing there. Literally nothing. You think it's naked around the bank here? There is nothing near U.S. Cellular. And, I went to quite a few of them when the Red Sox would come into play against the White Sox. All right, Tim Brando's 5 minutes away. Tonight's show brought to you by the good folks over at Thermal Engineers, and they are hiring. They're a commercial HVAC contractor. They've been serving North Florida for over 20 years. Qualified technicians and installers. How does top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus sound? Go to Thermal Engineers, Inc. Get all the details there. I'll call them at 230-1172, an equal opportunity employer. 230-1172 or Thermal Engineers, Inc. If you're looking for a positive change in your career, join the family. It's a family business, okay? HVAC contracting right here in Jacksonville for qualified technicians and installers. Again, top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. Go to Thermal Engineers, Inc. for all the details. Coming up next, Tim Brando, Fox Sports, his weekly visit during college football season. He joins us as we go into the night.
There's a new one-stop shop for all things Jags. Subscribe to the 1010XL Jaguars YouTube channel. One-on-one interviews with players, practice footage, podcasts, and more. If you're looking for the best Big Cat coverage around, look no further. 1010XL Jaguars on YouTube.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. Deadline August 31st. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
15,000 workers. I'm Brian Rose from Remedy Staffing. We survey 15,000 blue-collar workers each year to better understand what drives quality and dependability in our workforce. The survey shows when looking for a new job, the initial pay rate, job security, and safety while working are the most important factors for hourly workers. If you're an employer and would like to learn more about the voice of the blue-collar worker, please call us at 904-528-1933.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
I'm with Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville, and even though you're the place to go for fun, you're also a place to go for generators. People need generators.
And the Honda lineup is amazing. They make the super quiet model, inverter technology, the electricity's super clean. You can have conversations with them. You can back up your whole house with a Honda generator. So we have them in stock, and we're ready to ride.
So you have generators big enough that could run everything in the house.
Absolutely.
Check it out, Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency for generators.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 30th, 1987, Minnesota Twins center fielder Kirby Puckett goes 6 for 6 with 2 home runs and the Twins' 10-6 win against Milwaukee.
Veterans, did you know VA mortgage rates have plummeted and you can now access up to 100% of your home's equity and turn that into cash right now? Hey, it's Roger Moore, President and CEO of Loan Pronto, announcing our VA Equity Advantage program. This VA offer can get you $50, $70, $100,000 cash out with no junk fees and no hassle. With APRs in the 5s, you can pay off all those credit cards, personal loans, car loans, and get one easy-to-manage payment. Veterans we help save on average $850 per month. And listen, if you're a veteran with a current mortgage rate over 6.25%, we can do a streamlined refinance with no income verification and no appraisal, saving you hundreds a month. At Loan Pronto, we respect what you've done for our country, and we show it. Call now and ask about our special VA Equity Advantage program. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Tailgate special alert. 3 pounds of marinated chicken, 2 pounds of marinated steak tips, 2 pounds of fresh ground beef, and 2 pounds of homemade sausage for only $80 to feed your crew.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
This summer, beat the heat at Best Bet, your premier poker destination. Whether you're a seasoned poker pro or a first-time card player, you'll find a cool retreat from the summer heat with thrilling poker games, big payouts, and refreshing drinks. Join us for an unforgettable experience. Cool off and cash in at Best Bet. The stakes are high, the cards are hot, and your chance for fun is guaranteed. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
The Sunshine State says it all in the nickname. That summer sun in Florida can take its toll on an air conditioning unit and send your electric bill through the roof. Florida Home AC can help you handle the heat with a brand new AC unit with low monthly payments and over $3,000 in federal tax credits on select systems. So this summer, don't sweat it out. Cool off with Florida Home AC, the official AC company of the Jaguars. Call them today, 777-4300, and check out their tremendous savings on a brand new AC system.
Imagine stepping out of your cozy cabin on a crisp fall morning, coffee in hand, a stunning view from your private porch greets you. You spend the day relaxing at the Tiki Bar or taking a dip in the year-round pool while catching the big game on TV. Welcome to Island Oaks RV Resort, just past McClenny off exit 333. Book your cabin that sleeps 4 to 6 people. A close, affordable getaway with activities for the whole family. Make memories that last at Island Oaks RV Resort. IslandOaksRVResort.com.
Welcome to ABS, Advanced Business Solutions, your local print management partner and home to Xerox and HP copiers. From IT management to VoIP phone systems, Advanced Business Solutions is the right name to know.
This is Dr. Michael Iorio, internal medicine physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jaguars are entering this new season with the most talented defense on paper they've had in the last few years. Although they look great from afar, defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen is not jumping to conclusions about the production of his defense until they prove how talented they really are on game day.
Well, we'll see. I think the season will tell us. Talent is one thing, but production and what we do and things like that, those are the things that will be judged on, right? How many plays we make, how many games we win. Yeah, you'd like to think, everybody say, hey, we got a talented group and things like that. Let's get into the season and then talk about that midway or 3/4 away at the end of the season, and then we'll have a good evaluation.
The defense will have a great test of character when they take on the Miami Dolphins' explosive offense Week 1. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Tim Brando, ladies and gentlemen, college football in Duval. We are blessed to always have Tim Brando. We have forever here on either a Thursday or a Friday, and he's got a big one tomorrow night. FS1 at 9 o'clock, Western Michigan at Wisconsin. Let's bring in Tim Brando. Timmy B, always a pleasure. How you been?
I'm great, Rick. It's good to be with you, my friend.
Yep.
Everybody treating you right?
Yeah, everyone's treating me fantastic, Tim. The summer went by a little bit too quick for me. How about you? Looked like you lost a little bit of weight and you have been crushing the golf ball.
Well, I've done my best to do that. Yeah, over the last couple of years, I've dropped about 60. So my friends are calling me Skinny B now instead of Timmy B. But that's a good thing to hear from time to time.
Right.
I don't have quite as much time to embellish with you today as normal. But listen, it's not right for me to start a year without being on with Rick Ballou in Jayville. So I'm good to go. We've got some great games coming up. As you know, I've got a new partner this year. Devin Gardner's with me, the former Michigan quarterback, old number 98.
Right.
And Spencer's joining up with Eric Collins, who was with Devin in recent years. So a new look. We already had one game. We were in Albuquerque for that outstanding tilt that Montana State came from 17 down to win late last week in week 0. But now it's on to week 1, and we're going to be doing a lot of these Friday night games that are going to be coming up on Fox, starting with the game with K-State and Arizona on the 13th of September. And we'll probably do at least half, maybe more than half of those games on Friday nights, which is awesome for us because that means we'll get to see all the Saturday games too. So you know how much I love watching everything that's college football related. So we'll be doing a little bit of that this year. And next week we'll be in Pullman for Wazoo and Texas Tech, which is the third game on Fox. A late start, sort of like a Pac-12 after dark feel for that one, I guess. That game on the 13th I mentioned. And then on the 20th we got, in all likelihood, we'll be at that Illinois-Nebraska game on September the 20th, which will be a lot of fun to be in Lincoln again.
No question about it. And you mentioned Washington State. Of course, here, that's all the hype. Cam Ward now takes over for the University of Miami and all the talent they have. And
I've got them winning the ACC.
Oh, yeah?
I've picked Miami. I've got them in the playoff. I've got them in the 11 hole. And I think Cam Ward is an absolute transformational player that's going to make life a lot easier for Mario Cristobal. And we'll see. Obviously it's a big test coming up at the Swamp, but it's a game I think that's really winnable for them. And I think they come in probably feeling like they're more talented than Florida.
Yeah.
And I think they have every right to believe that they're more talented than Florida.
They're the better team on paper. I don't think anyone would argue with that. And I remember our conversation 2 years ago. You had seen a lot of Utah, and we discussed that. Now, that's Utah and where they came from. Of course, Miami, down the road from Gainesville, about 4 hours and some change. They are used to the Deep South heat. So, you know, to me, it comes down to who's able to run the football the best. Florida struggled. They allowed, 43 sacks a season ago, but with a healthy Montrell Johnson, they should be able to run the football. And obviously Miami, one of the better running teams in all of college football.
Yeah, no question about it. And ought to be a heck of a lot of fun. I'm thrilled at what Miami might be able to accomplish. And in that league, now with Florida State having lost, which I know was tough for you, Rick, but I think it sends a message that, you know, it's on and that the league is more gettable than maybe a lot of people had anticipated. I'm not believing in Clemson either. I think that they are gettable as well. I think the league is going to be not as top-heavy as a lot of others believe. I think it's a team like SMU, by example, who barely got past Nevada last week. That's a scary team to play. You know, they've got a head coach that knows how to wing it, and I think they'll be good to go. And I think that'll be a team that's going to scare a few people. And most people are just kind of looking over them in the newly constructed ACC.
You've seen everything in college football as we visit with Tim Brando. What amazes me about this game Saturday in the Swamp, it seems like the Miami fans and the Florida fans, they're convinced that their team is going to lose. I can't remember a game like this.
Yeah. Well, Miami is like, we've been told this before, right? And it hasn't happened. And I think in Florida's case, you know, that's a fan base that just believes anything less than 8-4 is fire the coach. And against that schedule, 8-4 should be get him a contract renewal.
Right.
That's what it ought to be. they're just not living in. They're not living in truth. They're living in the past, and they fail to understand how much work is ahead to be able to compete at the level that they once did. They're beyond spoiled at the Swamp. I mean, they just are.
Yeah.
I think they're on the right track. I think Billy Napier is a good coach. We've gone through this before, but against that schedule, you want to go 8-4. They can't afford to lose this game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want to go 8-4. So I think that's the reason why you're hearing that. And fans have a tendency to do that, think the worst before the best. And then, of course, if it is the worst, then that's confirmation that they had every reason to be pissed off before the season began.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Final moments with Tim Brando. We get Timmy each and every week, and we have for decades. But today's a little bit different with his Friday meetings here with coaches. Just give us a quick thought on the game tomorrow, or excuse me, Saturday at high noon. It's in Atlanta, Georgia, and Clemson.
Well, Georgia, in my mind, that's a blowout waiting to happen. I don't think Clemson's got it together to the level that they can play against them. I tell you, the games that are the most intriguing to me, are the games that involve teams that have coaches and players that during the shuttle of coaches, as well as the shuttle of players through NIL and the transfer portal. How about the story at Texas A&M with a Notre Dame quarterback going up against his old coach from Duke?
Mm-hmm.
How about that? How about that?
Yeah, that's a good one.
About familiarity breeding contempt. That's the game that jumps out at me. I think Georgia blows out Clemson, but I think Notre Dame, I've got them in my playoff. I think they can go 10-2 regardless of the outcome of this game. They got a couple of fresh tackles that haven't played because they had injuries to some of their veterans, but I think Freeman has a good enough team to meet the schedule that he's got in front of him. And let's face it, some of those teams that they historically play, teams like Stanford, teams like USC, they're not the teams they once were. So I think it's a much more manageable schedule than people believe. But that's an interesting game in my mind, and a game that can tilt the season one way or the other for either team.
As we let you go and we hear from Brother Bino, I cannot imagine what must be going through his heart and soul right now with the understanding that they are going to actually, and I know they did it last year in the Big Ten, but they are going to provide an injury report in the SEC. Yeah. And Greg Sankey, the commissioner, came out and said, hey, we have to do it. There's so much legal gambling that's going on nowadays in college football.
Well, it's unbelievable when you think about all the money. And by the way, when I was alive, they were cooking it with bookies. Now they're doing it legitimately. And for crying out loud, you got to do it for the sanctity of the game, for Christ's sake. So, yeah, that's what he'd be saying right now. Trust me when I tell you that.
No doubt. Hey, have a great call. Friday night, FS1, 9 o'clock, Wisconsin against Western Michigan. I know we'll pick it up in a week. Timmy B, always appreciate the time.
You got it, Rick. Anytime. All the best.
There he goes. Thank you. Tim Brando, ladies and gentlemen. And again, we will have Tim longer than that. We always do. He's incredibly generous. I mean, I've been a long-time friend of Timmy. We worked together back in Chicago. He's very generous. But he's in between meetings with Wisconsin coaches and Western Michigan coaches because he has tomorrow night's call, Friday night at 9 on FS1. You heard him say he's going to have some Friday night games. So, again, we're going to have to make some adjustments around here. We'll adapt. We will. And throughout the course of the year, we'll dive deeper into it. But wanted to bring him in today. One quick note there at Wisconsin. You may have seen a little bit earlier today. Jack Del Rio joins Luke Fickell at Wisconsin as a senior advisor. He's going to overlook offense and defense. So he wanted to get Mike Vrabel. Luke Fickell played with Mike Vrabel at Ohio State. Vrabel, of course, fired by Tennessee. He's now with the Browns. He's a consultant there. And I think right behind Bill Belichick, I would put Mike Vrabel in as a guy who's going to get a job, a former head coach in 2025. The other former coach around here, Doug Marrone. They'll be making their way to God's country under Bill O'Brien. Remember, Bill O'Brien's wife and Doug Marrone's wife, they were roommates together at Boston College, right? And Marone, of course, the head coach here, is now an offensive advisor for Bill O'Brien at Boston College. So a couple of former Jacksonville Jaguar coaches now making their way back to the great game of college football. We got much more to do. Let's get to hour number 2. Open opportunity for you on anything you've heard. 641-1010, best way for you to join us. That's the text line. It's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Because showing up is half the battle.
Although I am not opposed to engaging in a bit of fisticuffs should the occasion arise.
Bringing you Jacksonville Sports Radio every day. This is 1010 XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big this summer. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime powertrain and a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give us the opportunity to earn your business today. Atlantic Boulevard, Jacksonville, or visit JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Welcome to the family.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and there's nothing quite like the ease and breeze of First Coast summers. Unless, that is, you have a clogged drain or your hot water heater doesn't work. But that's where the experts at Fenwick Home Services have you covered. Fenwick offers 24/7 same-day service and can fix any plumbing problem you have. With free same-day estimates and guaranteed repairs, the pros at Fenwick Home Services get the job done right and get it done right the first time. You can also save on future emergencies with $50 off any repair. Click it or call day or night. FenwickHomeservices.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and let me give it to you straight. Here's what happened. One day at the radio station, a big shout out to Greg, by the way, he tells me about his new weight loss client entering Jacksonville. He knew I'd been griping about my weight and thought it'd be perfect for me. My response, yes, please. So I ended up on a call with Paige, the owner of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. By the end of that call, my only question was, what's the catch? Awaken 180 sounded too good to be true. Eat to lose weight? No meds? No workouts? Really? Paige just smiled through the phone and said, there is no catch, Mike. Awaken 180 works. I was skeptical, but intrigued. But after the first week, I was sold. I dropped 9.5 pounds that week, and 26 pounds later, I reached my goal. The amazing part, and a main reason I chose Awaken 180, the weight has stayed off. If losing weight is your goal, I suggest having the same conversation I had with Awaken 180. Schedule yours today at awaken180weightloss.com.
These are the last days for Monahan Jewelers store-wide 50 to 60% off sale. These are the biggest savings we could possibly offer, with everything on display discounted 50 to 60% off, ending Saturday, August 31st. We bought so much brand new jewelry that we need to make room for it, and the only way to do that is to give you huge deals at 50 to 60% off everything. And the sale ends Saturday, August 31st. Diamond jewelry, colored gemstones, gold chains, everything on display is 50 to 60% off at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling, with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists returns with their free bumps and bruises evaluation clinics. Now with 4 locations, these free injury assessments are open to all schools and athletic programs. Saturday mornings from 9 to 10 through October 26th at Cortex Sports Performance in Ponte Vedra, Preferred PT in Fleming Island, and also at Brooks Rehab on Centurion Parkway and Brooks Rehab at World Golf Village.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Are you embarrassed by your ugly, cracked concrete driveway? Need to enhance your home's curb appeal? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Replacing with new stone pavers will transform your driveway into a stunning work of art. Say goodbye to unsightly concrete and hello to beautiful, durable pavers that last for years. Visit Stonecore today and let's beautify your home together. Stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
What is the world's largest freshwater lake? The answer next.
How long has it been since you compared homeowners' insurance rates? Log on to southernoak.com to get an instant quote or find an agent near you.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Lake Superior has enough water to cover North and South America combined. It is the world's largest freshwater lake.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours. If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
For the greenest, luscious lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, Daly's Place tomorrow night. STP should be kind of cool, I guess. I just I really don't have any expectations. So anything above average is sensational, right? Friday night, nice breeze ripping through downtown. Beautiful smells, beautiful sounds. Right, Soundgarden, right? I think there is it Soundgarden or Soul Asylum? I think it's a big difference here, right? Soundgarden is like a big time player, right? In the '90s grunge. I think Soul Asylum had like maybe one hit. STP though, they're live. I think Live's is a Florida-based band. Another 90s band, so we'll see you out there tomorrow night. I'd buy you a cocktail, but it costs $25 a whack.
I only have $100.
I'm in radio, not TV. Gonna be a fun time. Just kidding.
And it is Soul Asylum.
They had a hit. I've heard of them. Yeah, they have to have done something. Soundgarden.
Yes.
I'm gonna upset. A
lot of like
Soundgarden
40-year-old men are pissed at you right now.
Well, Greg Huntington's he's been blowing up my cell phone all week about going to the Blue Crab House.
Runaway Train? Give me a second. We'll listen to it. See if this sounds familiar.
Not the Runaway Train. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, when they start playing this, I'm gonna go grab two $25 Miller Lights.
Yeah, pee break.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, but anyway, it's football's here, and summer's done. Right, golf season's over. The beach is over. It's football, and I love I don't want to call it a grind. I love the football season because you love it. Our listeners love it. I like the off season way better than in season. But forever, one of the really plums for me during the off season is seeing concerts, seeing live shows. And I didn't see anything this year. It was just incredible. I was sick for the Tedeschi Truck Show. Legitimately sick. Not booze sick. Legitimately sick. Yeah, I went to Las Vegas to see U2, but there were like other shows I wanted to see. I just never had an opportunity to get it to get it done. I mean, usually I see 6 to 8 to 10 concerts during the off season. And I love our venues. I mean, Daly's Place is fine. I love the arena. I love the Florida Theater, St. Aug Amp. I mean, they're all good. I just missed out on it. So we'll see out there on Friday night. Interesting point there that, we've talked a little bit about this game, but yeah, that's been kind of lost in the shuffle with, certainly around here with everything Florida and Miami, and then to some extent Georgia and Clemson. Although I've only heard from one guy on the text line who told me that Clemson was going to win that game straight up. And I love the fact that he is that he's daring. For the record, that's one more than I heard a week ago about Georgia Tech knocking off Florida State. I heard from no one. Did you hear from anyone on that?
Hell no.
No.
By the way, if you want to take Clemson straight up, 4-1 odds.
Yeah. Money line. Right? What's the money line?
Plus 410. So
there you go.
even better than 4-1.
Yeah. I mean, that's big money there. Lay $100, you're getting back what? $410. Big money. But Riley Leonard, Mike Elko, I was at that game last year in God's country where Duke gave Florida State all they wanted. And if you remember, Riley Leonard didn't start in that game. He had a bad wheel. He had a bad ankle. And they brought him in, and they immediately re-hurt him. And he came out.
And they were in it.
They were definitely in it. They were a well-coached team. And, I don't know what to make out of Texas A&M. I'm going to put Texas A&M right in there with, the Buffalo Bills and the Cleveland Browns and Virginia Tech and stuff like that. There's just certain schools and NFL teams where we know whether our last day on the planet is tomorrow or our last day on the planet is 80 years from tomorrow. Teams like that are never going to win a championship. They're just not. Not in your lifetime, not in my lifetime. And I don't care if they say Texas A&M is the most difficult place to play a college football game. How can you make that statement when you never win? Right? You're taking credit away from programs that win. Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan. Look at where those stadiums rank. Now, it's always something crazy. Oh, they're nuts at Neyland Stadium in Tennessee. Oh, my gosh. Death Valley in Baton Rouge. Now, I've been to those stadiums. They're sick. They're cathedrals. In Tennessee and LSU, they've won titles. They have. But why does it seem like the best of the best? Oh, it's 106,000 in the big house, but they're not loud. Oh, it's 108,000 in Happy Valley, but, it's not loud. Instead, they try to tell you that it's Outson Stadium at Oregon, or it's, in Seattle, it's UW. Remember one of the first questions I asked Jack Arute when I was a sideline assistant? I said, what is the loudest stadium you've ever been in? Without hesitation. He smoked those dark, like Moore cigarettes. Remember
like
those?
The cloves?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They just smell like ass.
You're so young. You probably don't even remember who Jack Arute is, do you?
Of course I do.
Okay,
oh,
okay.
Yeah.
I just, because he's been.
Legend. He did, like NASCAR, everything,
yeah.
right?
The Punch, no, that was Dr. Jerry Punch.
Dr. Jerry Punch. Okay.
I worked with the Punch doctor a little bit. But Jack Arute, he was like Gene. I've seen Gene Deckerhoff between halftime of a Florida State basketball game blow down a Marlboro Light 100,000 in 2 drives. Okay?
Oh, by the way, Jack Arute did do NASCAR. Okay.
Yeah.
Back then, they all did it all, yeah.
Yeah. But, I was really wet behind the ears, and I was trying to get every little morsel that I could. And, of course, back then, I got, you get paid like $75 a day, and you have to provide your own transportation. It was Tom Block and myself and a guy who made it big in graphics by the name of Craig Rothberg. And I'm like, yeah, what's the most, Jack, yeah, over here. Yeah, what's the most difficult, let me change that. Jack, yeah, over here. Your assistant? Yeah. What is the loudest stadium you've ever been in? Washington, he says to me.
I'll never forget the Marcus Tuiasosopo game. 2000, the reason Miami didn't go to the national championship, that it seemed at that point in time to be the loudest stadium in the history of man, just in that game alone.
Now
they upset Miami, if you didn't know that, folks.
You know what? That was during my betting years, because I know exactly where I was.
Me
and I bet
too.
if you look at the dates, you'll find it. I know exactly where I was when I found out that I had lost money and Washington had defeated Miami. I was in South Bend in a football game between Notre Dame and Nebraska. And Notre Dame had sold probably 50,000 seats to Big Red, and Nebraska with Eric Crouch won that game in overtime.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It was September 9th, 2000. Nebraska, number one, who it would end up winning 27-24 in overtime against number 23 Notre Dame. Hell of a memory.
That's fun when you get to go to a game where you really don't care who wins outside of who you're betting on.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't have an allegiance. And again, I went with my three producers. I was surrounded by Dominic Giacchiro, Tony DiGiacomo, and Joey DiGiacomo.
Some paisano. So Eric Crouch,
Chicago bred.
That day, wow. He was 7 for 15 passing with only 100 yards and a pick. But, of course, on the ground, 3 rushing touchdowns.
Oh, there's no doubt. Yep.
But, man, Notre Dame could not run the ball or pass the ball whatsoever. Arnaz Battle that day, 3 for 15 passing for 40 yards and a pick. Yikes.
I've been to South Bend 3 times for games. I went to the game of the century in '93, and then I went to that game. And then when I was there a couple of years later, Florida State kicked the living snot out of them. They beat them like 44-0. And so it was like Chris Rick's best game. I think it was Dakota Fagg and Crofonzo Thorpe. I mean, they each had like 3 or 4 touchdowns. It was nuts. But yeah, I because Notre Dame is Notre Dame. They're Duke in hoops. They're the Montreal Canadiens. They're New York, and I could not believe the amount of ticket. You couldn't get a ticket for the game of the century unless you paid major dollars. And even in that 44-0 game, there were a ton of Notre Dame fans. There were far more Big Red fans, Nebraska fans in that stadium that day in 2000. I don't remember who the coach was. He was on the hot seat. He ended up getting fired.
Ron Davey?
It might have been Bob Davey.
Bob Davey.
Not Ron.
Excuse me.
Davey. Ron Davey's an old LSU.
Yeah, it was
Rohan
Bob
Davey. Rohan Davey. Who played for
Davey
LSU and the New England Patriots.
Yeah, Bob Davey, and then the guy from Stanford took over, and that didn't last very long.
Tyrone Willingham.
Yeah.
Boy, man. I remember.
Well, actually, George O'Leary was supposed to be hired, but then from UCF, right? Or Georgia, I don't remember which one. And
Georgia
he
Tech.
lied on his resume. Like, they did the press conference and everything. How embarrassing.
Georgia Tech.
Yes.
George O'Leary. Tyrone Willingham, man. I remember him going into Tallahassee, winning a huge game for Notre Dame. Blake Hance added to the practice squad today for the Jaguars. That's good news. They need more as far as backup offensive linemen. So he joined Stephen Jones, but, Hance clearly a guard. They did say goodbye to E.J. Perry after announcing 14 yesterday. And they went out and they signed Matthew Jackson, a defensive back, who they got from Tennessee. And then the guy we spoke a little bit about yesterday as well, who they got from the Kansas City Chiefs as a running back. He's part of the International Player Pathway Program. And I guess he goes by LRZ. Okay, he's listed now as a wide receiver. Yesterday I read about him being listed as a running back. So he's a skill position guy from Kansas City. Louis Reese Zammit is his name. So a couple of...
Sounds like a wrestler.
Yeah. He's a former rugby player, internationally speaking. So, he's a tough guy. But Jaguars had a couple of moves made today.
We do have some breaking NFL news.
Okay.
So this broke in about the last 30 minutes or so. The long drawn-out Brandon Ayuk versus 49ers saga has come to an end. He just signed a big extension, 4 years, $120 million. So Brandon Ayuk staying in San Francisco. At one point in time, even this offseason, he was like rumored to be traded to the Jags. Their odds were up there for one of the teams he could go to, but looks like he's sticking around.
So he gets 4 years, $120 guaranteed?
I don't know what's guaranteed. You know how the reporting is. That'll come out later, I'm sure.
So is this more than what CeeDee Lamb got earlier in the week? Because he just signed a let me see here. CeeDee Lamb got $136 million. That is the total figure of the deal. $100 million guaranteed. 4 years, $136 for CeeDee Lamb, with $100 million of it guaranteed. He got $38 million of it in a signing bonus.
So he got more than Ayuk. So it's being reported right now. 76 is guaranteed.
Yeah, so he's better than Ayuk.
Exactly. So both of those numbers, more guaranteed money and just more overall for CeeDee Lamb.
I don't do the fantasy football. I don't. I'm still old school when it comes to just regular gambling, wagering, even though I removed myself from it for more than a decade.
Like a true American?
Yes. CeeDee Lamb in the top three with what? Tyreek Hill and Chase?
Well, McCaffrey's number one.
I'm talking about wide receivers.
Yeah, absolutely. Chase is up there too. But yeah, CeeDee's in the league that I was in, I think CeeDee might have went before him, before Chase.
Okay.
Jordan Jefferson, to me, is the best, but with that quarterback situation, no one's really taken him higher than these other guys.
Interesting stuff. Hey, when we come back, let's grab some of these, getting some really good text. I also want to, here's where, real quick on the NFL, because I mention this all the time, and it's not what it always has been. It's changed a little bit. I know it's almost like it's in my mind, and I'm going to spit it out once every 2 or 3 months, and it usually sounds like this. Well, the NFL, it has so much parity. Every year they have a team who finishes last, turns around and finishes first. It happened a year ago with Houston, right? They went from worst to first in 2023. There wasn't a team in 2021 or 2022 who did that. You got to go back to 2020 with Washington, and then it happened in 2018 with Chicago, and 2017 with Jacksonville and Philadelphia. So that is not nearly as significant as I thought it once was. On the flip side, repeat divisional winners. Out of the 8 divisions, the last 3 years, we have had repeat winners in 2023, 2022, and 2021. When we come back, let's spend a minute on this as far as whether or not 4 is the number for 2024, or if it goes over and or under. So we'll take a look at that. We got more to do in college football as well. More on Florida and Miami. Of course, the big game. We're going to have that for you beginning on Saturday afternoon. I mean, toe meets leather right around 3:30, but we'll have it all for you on both stations. 1010 on the AM, 92.5 FM.
Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
Brunell with time again, drills it deep, caught, touchdown, Jimmy Smith.
1010 XL.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Oh, no. You okay in there?
Toilet's backed up. It won't flush.
Okay, I'll call the pros.
The tank isn't filling. The handle does nothing. Run for your life.
Don't be so dramatic. Duck Rooter will fix it.
For any plumbing issue, call Duck Rooter, your local plumbing professionals and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Lauren Brooks here. If you're in pain and you think you've tried everything, I've got a solution for you. The team at Active Health Jax treats the source of the problem, not just the pain, so you can avoid surgery, cortisone injections, and pain medications. I've had neck aches for years, and I've tried everything from acupunctures to massages with no results. Within minutes of my evaluation and treatment, the tension was gone. It was amazing. Active Health Jax can help you too. Give them a call at 904-296-0202 today or visit them online at activehealthjax.com.
certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
It's soccer around the world, and here at home on the Sporting Jack Soccer Hour on 1010XL. Join Cole Pepper, Mauricio Ruiz, and Becky Burley for Soccer Talk.
Tuesday nights at 6
on 1010 AM.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy Subs and Sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a Dandy, and do it today.
I'm Stacy, and I want to tell you about my fogged up window fiasco at my house. I called up Mac at Baker Glass, and he told me all I needed was a glass replacement. The process was so easy. All within a few days, they came out, measured, called me with an estimate, cut my glass, and came out to install the new ones. Now my view outside is fog-free thanks to Mac and his crew at Baker Glass. And my neighbors think I got some fancy new windows.
I'm Mac with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Lauren Brooks here. Circa Resort and Casino has an incredible all-in package for Duval in December. For only $500 tax and resort fee included, get a 3-night stay at Circa, $200 food and beverage credit, plus a day bed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive screen, it's the world's largest hot tub party. Join us Heels Friday night for a Jacksonville pep rally with specials and giveaways. To book the Jacksonville Game Day Getaway and join the Heels in Vegas, visit CircaLasVegas.com today.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Expert Automotive is ready to keep you cool this summer. Right now, get an AC inspection or a system cooling checkup. Your choice for only $19.99. Their gift to you this summer is $50 off any service and a free tire rotation with any service. Their ASE certified technicians can keep your car cool without breaking the bank this summer. Call them at 374-3373 to get an appointment today. Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
With you till 8 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow, 4 to 6 on 1010 AM. We've made yet another adjustment. We're going to do it. have the GF come here, pick me up. We'll make our way over to Daly's place. I'll also be joining Matt Hayes tomorrow night at 6:30 on our new college football show. So, right before high school football. I'm doing all these Florida State reports again this year. And I think the early report on my Florida State reports is that I'm angry. And I would expect that to continue tomorrow night. So looking forward to going to Daly's place. Should be good. It's heard from my buddy Andy with Julia Gulia. They got it going on tomorrow night as well at a fun place not too far from my house called Iggy's. Always a good tavern. And they've been known to jam out in Ballou's bar late at night after their shows. What's the place you hang out at? You can still smoke in there, my bar,
you
my
can't
place.
anymore, unfortunately. I know. Like, that was the reason I made that place one of my favorite bars, is you could still have a cigarette in there. Yeah, my place off Bay Meadows, right off South Side.
Used to be
But they have, sorry to cut you off, they got live music every single night, though. I do love that spot.
Yeah, that's one thing I miss about Jack's is not enough live music. I haven't been going out. I've had this stomach issue. I haven't been doing it. But
it's expensive everywhere, dude.
Well, the meds for my stomach?
No, it's just expensive to go out anywhere. Like dinner, drinks, anything.
I have no problem. I have no problem spending money on entertainment. I just wish I felt better. But, like when Florida State plays the way they do on Saturday, you know what that does for me? And this is where I've matured. I didn't have one cocktail on Saturday. I had to shut it down. I went and took a nap at like 3:30. We were on our way to the beach. She had like everything packed. Yeah, I was like, sorry.
You're like, that ain't happening.
It's like,
not
listen,
in the mood
listen, here's the deal. Here's the deal. I have to punish myself. Okay? There's no way that you
Did
could be.
Did she go without you?
I don't even know. I took like a 5-hour nap. I think I saw her again like Monday morning. It was like, listen, there's no way you can expect me to go out and have a good time.
Right.
After the way that my alma mater played football. And that's why I hate noon games.
I was just about to say, if we play at like 8 o'clock, then I can go to the beach before, enjoy my whole Saturday, and then just be in the dumps for a few hours after that at night and go to sleep.
Monday night against BC, that's the same deal. I can still enjoy Labor Day the entire day.
Exactly.
But those noon games, and even for the Jaguars, 1 o'clock Sunday games, okay. Well, at least you had your Saturday, right? If you end up being on the other side of that. Divisional winners a year ago. Again, the last 3 years, there have been 4 divisional winners who repeated. Last year, both teams are 11-6. Buffalo won the tiebreaker. You think Buffalo repeats in the East?
I do. I know they lost a couple wide receivers, one here. But I just think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in that division, and it really just comes down to me. I don't think Miami is built to win like 12 games this season.
We're going to make our official picks next week, during week 1 of the NFL season. So this is kind of just a rough draft. I may pick Miami. The thing that would slow me down a little bit with Miami right now is they got a lot of injuries. And but it's a long season. As we do know. Baltimore.
By the way, I forgot that Aaron Rodgers is even with the Jets for a second, but I don't think they'll win that division. Maybe a playoff berth.
Baltimore, 13-4. They're going to be the odds-on favorite, but you had Cleveland win 11 games, Pittsburgh win 10 games, and the team I look at was 9-8 last year. That was Cincinnati.
And they didn't even have Burrow for like 75% of that.
Houston supplanted Jacksonville a year ago. They're the odds-on favorite to win it again this year. Again, we'll make our selections late next week, but most are picking Houston to repeat. Kansas City, to me, that's the easiest of them all, right? I mean,
unless you really love Harbaugh.
Yeah, if you love Harbaugh and
but I think it's been like 6 years
and Herbert. I mean, you got a rookie in Denver and Bo Nix. You got Gardner Minshew in Las Vegas. So,
yeah, that Vegas is going to be really bad. Kansas City has not lost that division since 2015.
You can really make a case for all 4 of the AFC divisional winners that they could repeat this year. You absolutely could. The NFC, Dallas every year puts up big numbers. They just can't win in the playoffs. 12-5, just with the naked eye right now, I'm going to say no. I would take Philadelphia over Dallas.
Yeah, I think they'll probably both make the playoffs. The way Philly ended the season was very Jaguars-esque. I would still probably pick Dallas to win that division, and then do nothing in the playoffs as per usual.
You look at that division right there. With Dayball, with McCarthy, with Sirianni, all three of those coaches could be fired.
Yes.
They have to win. And I know this league you have to win, but Sirianni is a guy that should have traction because they've been successful, but he seems to annoy and aggravate everyone that is not a Philadelphia Eagles fan, which, by the way, I love. I wish there was more of that. He's got the Belichick, but he doesn't have the Belichick in him. He's immature. He screams at opposing fans and stuff like that. He really is a jackass. I think he's going to be looking for his job somewhere else.
I was going to say, I know if he does get laid off, he'll find another job, though. He's still young. He had enough success in Philadelphia. I think he'll be all right. I wouldn't say the same about Mike McCarthy.
You know who he is? He's Torts. He's John Tortorella.
Okay, the hockey man.
Well-traveled hockey coach who is in Philadelphia right now as well. Still hasn't been fired by the Flyers. I hope he doesn't. Hope he hangs on to that gig. Philadelphia had a lot of problems last year. Detroit, yeah, I'll give you that. A lot of youth. Minnesota, their quarterback's already out. The rookie in Chicago, Green Bay. Now, I think Detroit absolutely can repeat. The NFC South. Wow. The one division last year that had a champion who did not win double-digit games. Again, both the Bucs and Saints won 9 games, but the Buccaneers won the tiebreaker. I'm going to have to study up on that division.
I would just go Bucs again, just based on everyone else being terrible. But I don't feel strongly about it.
That may be the first coaching firing. An in-season coaching firing in New Orleans. If you look, I kind of want to believe that if something happens crazy like that in the East, it's going to happen after the year. But Dennis Allen could possibly be the first coach fired this year when it's all said and done. And then out west, San Francisco is so consistent, and they just got big news here half hour or so ago, bringing back Brandon Ayuk. So anyway, we'll make our picks next week, but it feels like to me that if you set it at 4, I'd play the over. I think I go over 4.
It seems very chalky. I know it won't be, but right now,
no,
absolutely.
And that's why they do it this way, because it's so hard. Attrition is just the king.
And all those teams that finish first place have to play a first-place schedule, and that changes everything.
I wish you could rewind the tape and listen to what we said about Cincinnati last year before Joe Burrow went down. I think I still have it in my somewhere on my desk. I think
Did you
I
pick
had
them to win the Super Bowl?
I think I picked them over Philadelphia to win the Super Bowl last year. And they finished last in their division. That's what happens when you lose your quarterback. You got to keep them healthy. Rafael Esparza. He joins us next from MyBookie and MyBookie.org.
High school, college, and pro.
As good as it gets.
Your home for the most play-by-play is 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
At Garber Auto Mall, we can wiggle it. Best price, we can wiggle it. Best trade value, we can wiggle it. Best payment, we can wiggle it. Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. With 8 American brands, we can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or online at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Are you embarrassed by your ugly, cracked concrete driveway? Need to enhance your home's curb appeal? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Replacing with new stone pavers will transform your driveway into a stunning work of art. Say goodbye to unsightly concrete and hello to beautiful, durable pavers that last for years. Visit Stonecore today and let's beautify your home together. Stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
I'm Hacker. Get more Gators on the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists with new episodes every Wednesday. Subscribe and listen by searching for 1010XL Florida Gator Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or TuneIn.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, an asphalt marketer from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Sheldon Fish. Today's category, air conditioner repair experts in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, I bet it's going to be Bueller.
Your question. Unlike Jacksonville, the Sahara Desert has a complete lack of air conditioner repair experts. What kind of camels do they ride?
That's not really a question about air conditioner repair.
5 seconds.
But that's a camel question.
Pick a camel, Sheldon.
Arabian dromedary.
That's right, Sheldon. Like the majestic Arabian dromedary, the skilled technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing can repair any make and model of air conditioner the same day you call, making sure you are cool.
They don't spit, do they?
No, but Steve, the new guy, has a bit of a hump.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
It's poker with a purpose. The Hold'em for Life Texas Hold'em Tournament at Blessed Trinity Parish Hall benefits the Women's Help Center with a focus on expectant mothers and newborns. If you'd like to play or sponsor, call 904-868-8873.
Help make Jacksonville safer and play a round of golf at the First Coast Crime Stoppers Golf Tournament, October 21st at Amelia River Club.
If you could benefit from a grief and loss support group, call Haven Hospice at 279-1677.
Having a mentor can positively change a young life right here in Jacksonville. It only takes 4 to 7 hours a month to be a big brother or big sister and change a life forever. Become a big today at bbbsnefl.org.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
The only downside to Taco Bell's Cravings Value Menu is having to decide. It's got 10 different favorites for $3 or less. How do I choose between the super beefy cheesy double beef burrito, the crunchy loaded beef nachos, the pillowy 3-cheese chicken flatbread, or the... I don't have time to list them all. I'll have to go to Taco Bell and try them. The Taco Bell Cravings Value Menu. 10 items, $3 or less. At participating U.S. stores while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies. Tax extra. Double seasoned beef compared to the Burrito Supreme.
Hey, Hicken here. I want to talk skin along with my friends at Peaches Dermatology, reminding you to wear your sunscreen. Football season is back, baby. And with that, days under that bright sun. So when you load up that truck for the game day tailgate, or the chairs for your kids' flag games, or even the boat heading downtown to watch our Jags, make sure you bring the screen. Sunscreen, that is. It's a must here in Duval. But if you have any concerns right now, give Beaches Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting. 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Oh, my goodness. Final Thursday of August. We got college football all over the place tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday. Big one in Vegas on Sunday. Rafael Esparza is our guest. You going to the game on Sunday?
No, I did not go to that. That start of traffic's horrible. There's no parking. No.
Okay.
No.
Hey, the best place to be is, right in front of one of those beautiful, 7,000-inch TVs you got out there in Vegas?
Well, I don't have to. People think I have the biggest TV in my office. I have 6 TVs in my office, and I don't want a big one because then it just distracts me. So
Okay, kind of like me and my bar. Yeah, same deal. Before we get into this, and I know the sample size is nothing, but are you getting a feel that with these new clock rules in college football that more and more unders are going to come in?
Well, if that's the case, I think that's why maybe this North Dakota State-Colorado game, this one opened up at 50.5. Now it's 54. So it's I'm kind of curious to see what the momentum is for these high-scoring teams like Oregon, Ohio State, teams that like to speed the ball up and try to score quickly. We'll see how they handle the new clock issues.
So they had a 2-minute warning, but they keep the clock running now when you pick up a first down. I just don't get it. I mean, listen, baseball was too long. The end of a college basketball or an NBA game is too long. I've been covering college football forever. I never hear fans come up to me and say, man, we need to shorten the length of a college football game.
No, that's probably the one thing you don't hear about. You always hear the NFL, it takes too long for reviews and penalties and stuff like that. College football, you really don't hear anything about the game is too fast or the game is too long. Don't mess with something that's not broke.
Yeah, and they have, and we'll see what ends up doing here with totals across the world of college football. All right, how's the week gone? Let's begin with a huge one here on Saturday. We'll have it for you on our airwaves, 1010 on the AM, 92.5 on the FM. It feels like most money coming in on Miami here against Florida.
It was, and when we saw a 3 pop up really, really, really shortly, and boy, did that thing vanish quickly. I like the Gators, even though I'm still not a big fan of Napier. I'm going to take the plus points at the Swamp. Both these teams are looking for better showings than last year. I just have a little bit more faith in Florida than I do at the U. I'm going to take the Gators plus the points.
Where are you on a trend like 33 straight home victories for Florida? It's a record right now that is continuous in college football, but Miami hasn't played in the Swamp since 2008.
Yeah, it's I'm a little bit shocked that this is game 1 for the for the Gators with that streak growing. I'm a little bit blown away, but at the same time, hey, Napier, put up or shut up on this one. Now, game 1 is against a state rival, Miami. That's why I kind of lean towards the Gators for this one.
Any Clemson money, or is this dominant Georgia Bulldogs?
Dominant Georgia Bulldogs. Very little Clemson money comes in. More wise guy action on Georgia, public action on Clemson. I just think Dabo is going to be for a very long, not day, but year, because it's a transfer portal sport now. Give us the program, Clemson.
All right, last one I'll ask you about is the headline night game. That is Texas A&M with Mike Elko, the former coach of Riley Leonard, who's now at Notre Dame. So a pretty phenomenal storyline for that one. And we understand that Notre Dame is always going to be a public team. How have things been this week at the window?
Mostly A&M. I mean, this one opened up at A&M -1. Now it's 3. Book just dropped it to 2.5 about maybe an hour ago. I'm tired of being so promised that Aggie football's back, and they're nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
I'm going to trust Notre Dame's offensive line, and I think they control the line on the defensive side as well. I'm going to trust the running game of Notre Dame.
All right, Rafael, any major movement as far as maybe a team that got a lot of cash thrown on them to win the college football playoff or the Heisman Trophy?
As long as Colorado or Sanders doesn't win the Heisman, we'll be sitting pretty right now. It's pretty much all Georgia, Ohio State. A lot of Oregon money is starting to come in day after day after day. That's fairly, which is good for us because it balances with Ohio State and Georgia money. So Duck money come in, and right now Sanders is taking all the cash. You're here to hear first. Deion Sanders is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, and Sanders will go with him.
There you go. I like that better than Tallahassee and Florida State with the way he's been acting with the media. I mean, that's a tough media in Tallahassee.
And Belichick goes to the Raiders because Tom Brady wants to own part of the Raiders, so there's my other.
And he's going to have to give – I mean, he's going to be – he's not even going to allow to do anything as a broadcaster. Do you see the rules that they've levied against him?
And
I mean, why would
Tom Brady rules.
Yeah, I mean, you're making $35 million a year broadcasting. Why not just stay out as far as an ownership? He can't do his job the way that those restrictions spelled out for him that were announced yesterday. But
who's going to tell that smile no?
Yeah. Did I hear you correctly though? That most of the money is on Sanders to win the Heisman, even though they could be a 500 football team this year.
We're such a big liability with Colorado winning the conference, Colorado winning the national championship, and Sanders being Heisman. It's just it's not saying tickets written no. But for a liability, it's Sanders.
Give us the very latest. What's going on at MyBookie, mybookie.org.
It's college football. It kicked off a couple hours ago, week 1. Yes, week 0 was last week. I wish Florida State wishes week 0 didn't kick off last week. But
Hey. I'm sorry. Continue.
It's here. College football, NFL next week. I can't wait for it. It's just a great weekend of football. You got football Thursday, Friday, Saturday, one game on Sunday, one game on Monday.
Rafael Esparza. Always a pleasure. Enjoy all the games. We'll talk next week.
Take it easy. Have a great weekend.
There you go.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, Rafael Esparza, our guest there a moment ago. He is correct. There is a ton going on tonight in college football, including 3 ranked teams. Make that 2 ranked teams in the Big 12. You have 11th ranked Missouri on the SEC Network coming up at the top of the hour. NC State underway halfway through the first quarter in Raleigh right now against Western Carolina. Missouri will take on Murray State. Kansas is an intriguing team. I know when you hear Kansas, you think of a lot of things. You don't think football. They're getting quite a bit of pub so far this year. Right next to Missouri, the highest-ranked team playing tonight is Utah. Utah now part of the Big Ten, taking on Southern Utah. And that Colorado game, let me dig that one up for you real quick. I believe that starts coming up in about 20, 25 minutes or so. North Dakota State in Boulder tonight against Colorado. So, yeah, an interesting night in the Big 12. Central Florida underway against New Hampshire. UCF up 13-0 right now early in this game. And there are people who will swear on it, right, that the best quarterback in the state is KJ Jefferson. I'm sure Cam Ward has a little something to say about that on Saturday. I'm sure Graham Mertz has a little something to say about that on Saturday. I'm sure DJU has a bounce back and has a little something that he wants to say about that coming up on Monday night. But KJ Jefferson out of Mississippi in 5 years, you remember him at Arkansas, and now, made his way over to the Knights at UCF. Let me see if he's thrown for a touchdown early on in this game, because I know you're dying. Let's see. No, actually, take that back, Ballou. He's 1 of 6 for 8 yards. He's rushed. He does have a rushing touchdown, however, does KJ Jefferson. We are just barely underway, starting quarter number 2 between UCF and UNH.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
The University of New Hampshire. Your wife is from Maine.
She's from Maine, but about 30 minutes away from the New Hampshire border. In fact, UNH is much closer to her house than the University of Maine is.
Hanover, New Hampshire. My mom was born in Keene, but I went to a UNH. I went to visit a friend out there. I'm trying to think. I think that the season, I think the Christmas break was like 10 days to 2 weeks sooner here at Florida State than it was at a lot of schools up east.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to a UNH out there, and over the Christmas break, it was a UMass UNH hockey game.
Oh, I bet that was now hockey up there. That is something.
It was a blast.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely, it was a
Maine,
blast.
New Hampshire, same thing.
But what a great campus. I mean, cold that time of year, obviously, but
Yeah.
still, UNH. Very good school. Anyway, they're getting crushed right now by UCF.
Yeah, big rivalries in hockey, and football's not necessarily their thing. If memory serves, though, there was a young man, was it Bartram? There was somebody in St. Johns County like 2 or 3 years ago that actually committed to the University of New Hampshire.
Okay.
That played high school football here under the Friday Night Lights.
I want to say Chip Kelly coached at UNH at one point. Now Colin plays for Ohio State.
Yeah.
And maybe the best team that money can buy.
Ohio State going to lead off that CBS theme song, the SEC that had to leave the theme song to CBS. Nothing like starting off your CBS coverage was at Ohio State Akron,
right.
I believe, with Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson on the call on Saturday.
Am I wrong by saying that Nessler is slowly forming into Al Michaels Part 2?
Well, Nessler had been waiting for Vern to retire forever. He got like 6 years after Vern retired to do SEC games. And then they leave him in the
he's
middle of the
annoyed.
night.
But he becomes annoyed at penalties,
Yeah.
and they got to review this. I mean, no one's like Al. I mean, poor Al. The guy works 3 hours a week. I mean, we should complain. We work 10.
Right.
But Al, I think, makes a little bit more money than you and I do. He complains about everything. I get the feeling that Brad Nessler is starting to morph into that as well.
Kind of the curmudgeon a little bit. I like Nessler. I've had him on a few times. He's always been great with me, and I hear good things about Brad, but I can see why you would think that with some of the things that he talks about.
What's coming up?
Yeah, we were down at the Miller Electric Center. Jaguars' final practice for a couple of days, kind of their last day or two off. They start the grind on Monday, getting ready for the Miami Dolphins. Got Parker Washington. Had a one-on-one with Parker Washington down at the Miller Electric Center earlier today. We'll play you that conversation here on Hacker After Dark. Maybe the MVP of training camp. Certainly in the conversation. I thought he had a terrific camp as the Jaguar wide receiver there. And then Mike Huguenin, guy's a college football encyclopedia, been covering it for years. We'll have Mike on at the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour.
Very good. Have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Rick.
It's going to do it for us. Thank you to Tim Brando. Thank you to Rafael Esparza. Tomorrow, I'm going to be with you from 4 until 6 on 1010. All right, AM 1010 from 4 until 6. During Friday's program. Monday, I'll return, and the rest of the week from 6 to 8 on 92.5. But for tomorrow, on the AM 1010, I'll be with you from 4 until 6. Thank you to JJ LaSelva. My name is Rick Ballou. Enjoy all these games. Keep it here. Hacker is next.